Hey guys, it's Lauren. So today I wanted to talk about some ADHD symptoms that you may not know about. I'm not a doctor, so don't take these as like final word, and you may not experience these if you have ADHD yourself, but oftentimes people with ADHD do experience at least one of these symptoms. The first one is emotional hyperarousal. This is when your emotions can be really high or really low. Not to be confused with a mood disorder, although kind of eerily similar, except your moods are relatively normal, they're just really intense. Oftentimes someone with ADHD, when they get upset, they get over it really quickly, although when they were upset, it was extremely upsetting. In the end, your emotions may take over your logical thoughts, so what you're actually feeling isn't logically what's happening. This can make it harder for you to resolve some kind of issue that you might be going through that's causing this emotional distress. The second one is RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria. This is when you have an extremely painful or emotional reaction to rejection, criticism, and or failure. I'm sorry if you hear my mom in the background. The puppies aren't being that nice right now. Not only can this pain and emotion be triggered by criticism or rejection or failure, but it can also be triggered by just the thought of criticism, rejection, or failure. When manifesting itself in adults with ADHD, you may anticipate rejection even though it's not actually happening. This causes people with ADHD to become people pleasers or just stop caring in general. I know personally I am really bad with rejection and criticism and failure, so I tend to be a people pleaser, and that can be really detrimental to my mental health because sometimes I care more about the opinions of others than I do about my opinion of my own self. So basically, with any kind of rejection or criticism the person feels, it comes out in immense pain and sometimes rage. I know personally, when I see criticism of myself online, I tend to go on Twitter and kind of go off, and that is definitely my RSD being like freaking out because of this criticism that I don't agree with about myself. The third one is time blindness. Sometimes people with ADHD have trouble with time in general. It can make them late to appointments or even really bad at texting back. We sometimes have a hard time measuring how long a task will take. Our brains often fill up with a million things to do at one time, so we kind of forget that time exists in general, especially when we're hyper-focused on something. I know when I get really into like my graphic design stuff, I will spend hours doing it, not realizing I just stayed up until like 8 a.m., haven't slept yet because I was hyper-focused on this task. The fourth and last one I want to talk about is object permanence. This one is a huge one for me because I often try and explain this to like my parents who get annoyed by all my clutter, and they don't understand. But when I have something and then I put it away, often my brain just forgets about it. So when something's not right in front of us, we forget because it's not there. How do you remember something that's not there? I don't know. That's why oftentimes we have more clutter than other people, because we put things in places our brains will remember. And then when someone puts it away, it no longer exists. For example, when I have a hobby like drawing, if I don't have my sketch pad and pencils and pens out, then I will forget that I like drawing. And it takes months for me to get back into it. Has this been bothering everyone the whole time? I apologize. So those are some symptoms of ADHD that you may not know about. Some you may relate to, some maybe you don't relate to, and that's okay. Just know you aren't alone and that these symptoms are very common. And sometimes I like to think that when I have a word to put to something I'm doing, or a diagnosis, I guess, it's easier for me to process and accept myself for who I am. So hopefully these definitions helped you a bit. I'll put some resources in the description box that you can click on, or where I found my information. And yeah, so if you can subscribe, like, and comment, that'd be great, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.